Welcome back to Speed Racer. I'm David Damari.
But that's what you call a callback. I'm John Bauer.
We didn't need to acknowledge it. You didn't. It was perfect the way it was.
Was it?
Yeah. I think I killed it with that intro. This is a terrible place to live too.
It is.
John's house sucks.
It does. That's why I'm moving out. Okay.
Yeah.
To talk about Stranger Things, and then we ended the last episode because we had to do 2 in one day.
And we're like, this one's been an hour. Let's make the time for number 2.
Yeah, so anyway, here we are again. It's been a month for you, but it's been about 3 minutes for us.
Yeah. We talked about Then Came You for like a little bit. And I was like, it's one of those cancer movies for teenagers, but it was okay. I liked it.
And then we just started listing all the cancer movies.
There are a lot of cancer movies for teenagers. Teens love so cancer. Teens are
teens are cancer. No, wait, what?
Teens love it though. They're like
I don't think teens like teen dramas. I think teen moms. Like teen moms, like teens mothers of teens, dramas. Like teen dramas.
No, teens like teen dramas.
Aren't you still technically a teen?
See, I was talking about like teens in general, the general population. Actually, because all teen dramas are aimed at girls.
That's true. They're all chick flicks of some sort.
They think that guys don't like dramas, which is kind of stupid. I hate that. But like, they're like, guys only watch action movies. So we're going to make action movies for the guys and we're going to make dramas for the girls. And dramas are the best genre of movie.
I've seen some really good dramas in the past year or two.
Yeah.
Like Crazy Rich Asians is a great movie. It's kind of a comedy, but it's mostly a drama.
It's a dramedy.
It's a dramedy.
Is that a name for a genre?
I believe it is a name for drama comedy. I can look it up.
Because there's rom-coms. So would it be drom-coms?
Yeah, dramedy is a movie, play, or broadcast program that combines elements of drama and comedy. It's in the dictionary.
Shouldn't it be a drom-com, though, since they're rom-coms, drom-coms?
I don't know.
Also, rom-com is the stupidest name because you don't say romance.
Romance? But if you said rom-com, it'd be weird.
Yeah, now. Like, whenever they came up with rom-com, the person who made it was stupid, and now that's what we all say. You know?
Yeah, I guess.
It made it so that for like the first, I don't know how old I was when I figured out what rom-com meant romantic comedy. I was like, oh, that makes sense. And I was like, wait a second. No, it doesn't. You know?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I guess it was like abbreviated at first, like where you'd see it written.
Yeah, it was written down, not said. And then people just read it and probably didn't even realize that it was romantic comedy. They're just like, it's a rom-com.
Well, they didn't even know what that meant then. If they didn't realize it was a romantic comedy, why were they saying, oh, it's a rom-com? Like that means something.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just like they started to understand that genre as its own thing without realizing what it stood for, you know? Possibly not. It just seems like that kind of thing.
Oh, something that I did like in Then Came You was it seems like it's set up for like Maisie Williams and Asa Butterfield to be a couple.
Yeah.
Like, because they're the two biggest actors. Right. And they're the main characters. And that's how those movies typically go because they're very played out. But that wasn't the case. There was like it just became like best friends, and there was like another girl who was like the love interest. So I like that they did that slightly differently, you know?
Yeah. They subverted your expectations, basically.
Yeah.
They took
Because like even like watching the trailer, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a rom-com. It's these two.
They took a classic format and then changed it a bit so it doesn't feel like a like it doesn't feel calculated.
Oh, they did do that thing that you talked about on the last episode where they like end it, but you don't really know what happens. Especially, well, with one aspect of the story, really. Like
Yeah.
with the romantic aspect of it, like you don't know how that ends. Cause it's like, and then he got on a plane with the girl that he liked, but you don't know if they get together because she works on that plane and he just decided to get on it.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's kind of how. Have you seen Escape Room?
No.
It's a really mediocre movie.
It has the one dude from Atypical in it.
Is that where he's from?
The guy who like works at the store.
Yeah.
With the main character.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, he's actually probably the best actor in it.
Okay.
I think.
Who
if
else
it's
in
the guy
that?
you're thinking.
Because I thought there were like some big names in it other than him.
It has the person who plays Karen in Daredevil.
Oh, she's all right. I like her in Daredevil.
Yeah. It's it mostly suffers from being kind of cheaply written.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of plot holes in it.
You know, this is getting sidetracked from Escape Room.
No, don't worry about it.
But when I first started watching Daredevil, I was like, this show is so good. It's so like grounded and like everyone in it's like acts really well, you know? But like the more I've watched it, I've realized no, like they do act pretty well, but they don't act as well as I thought they did. My standards are just incredibly low for television.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? Like it's got a good cast, but they're not like as good as it seemed like they were when you first start watching it.
Yeah, I think a lot of most things where it's like a really good cast for a television show, you won't realize because there's such a divide between the actors that act television and the actors that act like movies. But if someone's really good, they usually get like transferred. They transfer their career basically over to big screen things,
which is what's happening with everyone in Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things. It has happened to a lot of the people in Mr. Robot. Mm-hmm. It happened to the people in Orphan Black, like the main cast, really. Well, mostly just Tatiana Maslany, but
I'm trying to think of examples for the Stranger Things cast, but then I realized that the only thing I can think of for Millie Bobby Brown is that Godzilla movie that just came out.
Movie,
yeah, that everyone hates.
I had a day where someone was like, 3 of my friends were available, and like we didn't have something that normally have weekly where we could go see a movie, and people were like, what should we go see? And I looked at all the movies and I was like, none of these. Let's not see any of these. Well, and they're like, what about Godzilla? And I was like, no, please don't. No.
I still haven't seen Endgame.
Why?
Because I've been too busy.
Are you not spoiled?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know like one thing, but I assumed that going in anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just surprised that you can even like miss.
No, people act like spoilers are jumping out at you everywhere. Like if you're on the internet at all, that's not even true. Because like I go on Twitter daily, and I'm fine.
I think I follow a lot of like comic book centric sites that talk about movie news. Oh. So the places I go, if you looked at my Instagram, you would immediately see 3 posts of spoilers.
So the one thing that's gotten close recently is I was told that not to watch the Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah.
But now like YouTube is trying to autoplay like clips from Spider-Man Homecoming before videos. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much of that is
the Far From Home stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That trailer does have some spoilers for Endgame, but
There's one like thing that I was like, oh, is that what they're talking about? But that's related to what I already assumed.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't know what you assumed.
Should we talk about that?
I mean, it only takes like 3 seconds for you to tell me what you assumed. So if we just say spoilers and they skip like 10 seconds ahead.
Okay. Spoilers, Iron Man dying.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say. That got spoiled for you?
Well, no, I assumed that.
You assumed that.
Because, I mean, like, okay, we'll just keep talking about this for a little while. Because, I mean, like, Robert Downey Jr.'s contract expiring and all that.
Yeah.
And, like, it makes sense.
It really was kind of, it was bound to happen, basically.
Like, anyone who thought about it for, like, a little while could have guessed that would happen in Endgame.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I still haven't seen it just because, like, I'm working all the time now. And when I'm off, I'm just like, oh, I want to visit with friends. I don't want to, like, go see a movie. You know?
Yeah, I can see that. That's kind of why I stopped doing as much TV shows. I've stopped watching as many TV shows as often, just because I end up finding more time to like be with my family here at the house when I'm at home. So, because now that like everyone's out of the house all day, I don't see anyone until like I get home, which is the only time I watch TV. So
yeah, I realized the other day that I'm basically working a full-time job because I get 2 days off a week, and I work I work like at least 35 hours a week, so almost 40.
Yeah.
Because like I was like, man, I work like 5 hours less than my dad does, which is so weird to think that I'm at that point in my life now.
Yeah. 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 When I worked at Wendy's, they basically like the way that you submitted time off was basically set up so that no one ever
got time off.
It was basically set up so that you work 6 days a week, no matter what.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I can work these 3 days, and they'd always schedule me 5 days or 6 days and not the days that I was available. And it was like, you guys are insane. This is not what I said I could do. Like, but they basically were just set up for people to make it their career, which is weird because it's like fast food. Like, nobody's working at that rate. But like all the people I worked with were like 40s, 50s.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so strange.
There was like one high schooler.
No, Ireland is pretty good about like letting me like have time off. Because you just have to have it like submitted by the Thursday before the week that you want it. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's kind of how it was at That's kind of how it was at Wendy's. They just ignored things. Yeah. It's weird to move into like the phase where you've gone from like school, which is like seeing people that are in your peer group and your friend group between things and during things, and then having like large breaks between things and just like homework.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you got to do it, but it doesn't matter when it happens, to doing things like work on a full-time schedule where it's like, yeah, you have friends there, but it's also like, it's more like constantly being in a test than it is like being in a class sometimes and doing homework.
Well, I mean, I work at a grocery store, so it's not that much of a test. It's
no,
like,
I just mean
how good
like,
can you sweep the floors?
I mean, it's just like, it's a more structured environment for the whole time instead of like some structure, some loose.
Yeah, know? I see.
It's an interesting thing going from like school to work.
Okay. Oh, we were going to talk about Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things.
Last episode.
I'm
way back then.
Did you see the most recent trailer for Stranger Things?
I watched it today.
I did too.
Wow.
I don't know when it was released, but I watched it today.
I just saw it on trending. I was like, I'll watch it.
I'm a little bit disappointed, I'll be honest.
I'm a little bit nervous. I mean, I'm going to watch it for sure. Probably when I get back from Indiana, because I don't know if I have Netflix up there. Probably not.
I'm kind of worried that the acting will go down in quality, honestly.
That wasn't my concern. My concern was that
it's not my only concern, but continue.
That they've done this every season where it's, well, both seasons.
Both seasons. It feels like a lot more than that.
Well, I mean, they did it the second season and now they're going to do it the third season where it's getting bigger.
Mm-hmm. But
and that's not not that it's the same, but that, like, I don't know, I feel like watching the trailer, I was like, this looks like an action movie. You know?
Yeah. It's losing the kind of mysterious feel that it had.
Yeah, and like it felt small.
You're really far away from the
I'm sorry. It felt small in the first season, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like a small town where like these are the events that are happening. But then there was something in there where it was like a beam in some laboratory. I was like, what is this? I don't know. It feels
a beam in a laboratory?
Yeah.
You mean in the trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that... Are you talking about the part where she closes the gate?
No.
I guess we should say spoilers for season 1 and 2 if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know who hasn't seen it, but if you haven't seen it, go watch it. And then...
I was gonna say, I think at this point, if they haven't seen it, they don't want to watch it. But then I was like, well, I haven't seen Endgame, so
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been longer for Stranger Things, though. So, but yeah, no, I mean, just in case, spoilers, because we are going to get into spoilers for season 1 and 2 probably in this discussion at some point, which I just kind of did. But
yeah,
I think the main problem for me was that they in the first season, they purposefully didn't really show the monster.
Yeah.
Until the very end. And it was shocking. And they didn't actually do that because they wanted to. They did that because of budget reasons, which kind of set up this feeling of like a mysterious, like, I guess like more thriller, like,
yeah,
feeling, which I really like. And then in the second movie, it feels like a movie because it was basically just a sequel.
And you just watch it all at once.
Yeah. In the second season, they really doubled down and with the demidogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the demidogs are in everything. Mm-hmm. They're everywhere. And they're well designed, I guess, but they're basically just cheap knockoffs of the first season's monster. And the first season's monster threw them for a loop, but the demidogs are basically 6 of those, and they're not a consequence at all.
Mm-hmm.
They're also not mysterious, almost at all.
Well, they're also not the main focus of it. The Mind Flayer was the...
Yeah, but the Mind Flayer was almost... It wasn't mysterious, it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was kind of convoluted, which is why I really liked episode 8, which everyone hated.
Yeah. My biggest, like, so in the trailer, for those of you who haven't seen that, they basically say that the Mind Flayer that was in season 2 is also in season 3, but instead of being in Will's body, he's now in
Billy's
body, which sucks so bad because what was interesting about season 2 was that this evil thing is in their friend's body, right?
Right.
So it's like, oh, we love Will, but there's this mind flayer in him. Now it's like, we hate the Mind Flayer, we hate Billy too. Let's just kill him.
Yeah. Also, I thought what I liked about Billy's character was that it added, like, it has been mostly in season 1, there was the main evil, which was the Demogorgon.
Yeah.
And then there was the human evil, which was Papa, whose name I don't remember.
Dr. Brenner.
Brenner? Is it Brenner? They call him Papa all the time.
Sound like Papa John's.
He isn't evil. No.
At least Dr. Brenner doesn't say the N-word.
Exactly. Dr. Brenner wasn't racist as far as we know. But like he's like the human evil that's like, you know, you see what he's doing and you're like, oh, that guy's fucking heartless. And then in season 2, Billy's kind of that, this guy's, it's the balance. It's like the good humans, the bad monsters, the bad human, the good monster. And season 1, it's the bad monster is the Demogorgon, the good monster is 11.
Yeah.
And the bad human is Brenner, and the good human is Mike. In season 2...
I mean, there are lots of good humans.
Yes, I know, but like that's the main focus. In season 2, they did the exact same thing with Billy as the bad human, Dustin as the good human, and the Mind Flayer is the bad monster, and the Demodog as the good monster.
I really hope this next season focuses on Caleb a lot. Caleb McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm trying to...
McLaughlin.
I meant Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas. I don't remember his character's name. I don't remember any of their names most of the time, except for Mike, because they say Mike all the time.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a montage somewhere of just Mike, because they say it all the time.
They talk about Will Byers a lot. They're like, we need to get Will back in the first season. Like, where's Will? And then Joyce is always going,
where is my boy?
She's like, Will.
She says something in the trailer.
Okay.
That's that the only thing I could think of is The Simpsons when it's like, what about the children? She says something about, we've got to protect our kids. And she uses a voice that's like so, oh man, I wish I had like just that pulled up.
Oh no, I like Winona Ryder for that part, but she's the same throughout the entire show.
She really is.
She's always that.
She's so insane. Let me see if I can pull up just the...
Did you ever see that video of David Harbour talking at like an award show? And then like she's making weird faces.
Yes. Let me see if I can find it.
She was so drunk in that video.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, that's...
We'll have it soon.
I don't remember exactly where it is.
So just listen to the Stranger Things.
That's it. That's it.
Our kids are in danger.
Wait. Did you catch that?
I think there's like another part to that.
Is there?
Oh, isn't there? Oh.
No,
I could have sworn there was.
Then 11 talks.
Okay, never mind.
I think that's the only part.
Because there was like part where, because that didn't show her. Like there's another part where like shows her like agitated. I was like, oh, she's doing that again.
Yeah, there were also a couple of clips from season 1 and 2 in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the dynamic is gonna be with Millie Bobby Brown playing 11 now that she like talks more and is like a kid, not like you know, going to school and whatnot. Like I feel like that's gonna be weird because I don't think she's actually that good of an actress.
I think she's fine. I think she's a fine actress. I think. Sorry, Zion. I don't know if you're gonna be upset by that. Also, this would have been a perfect episode to have you on.
Yeah, sorry.
How's work?
Scheduling conflicts.
But no, like that's something I thought was really funny. And the first season, whenever it like came out, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, Millie Bobby Brown!" I'm like, she barely talks and she just looks angry the whole time.
See, the thing is, I think she did a stupendous job playing the type of character that 11 is.
Uh-huh.
I really, really like her in that role, but I cannot see her doing just a normal kid well.
Well, I mean, she's still not. She's always going to be kind of weird because...
Yeah, I think her acting kind of goes more toward like expression through like she does a lot of body language in the first season, and then less so, but still a lot of like expression in her face and whatnot, and like does it really well. But I don't know if she's good at delivering dialogue. Like the dialogue she had to deliver was supposed to be very choppy and awkward, so it worked. But I don't know if she's actually good at delivering like lines.
Also, I was just thinking about this. This is not on that specific topic, but it's kind of messed up that like Eleven and Mike are a thing because she's not like fully mentally formed.
Yeah,
it's a little bit like creepy.
It's a little bit
like taking advantage of someone.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit odd. Although they are kids, so it's kind of...
It's like an Arrested Development where Michael was dating a mentally retarded person for a while and he didn't realize that she was.
Yeah, it does feel like a little bit of a weird imbalance of power. It'd be... Yeah, I don't know. It's such a weird show to talk about because it's such a mashup of a bunch of things, because it's like not horror, but it's not horror. And it's like kind of an 80s like referencing show, like a nostalgia show, but it's not real nostalgia. It's like hype nostalgia in a weird way, if you know what I mean by that. Like
the way Bumblebee was.
Yeah, the way Bumblebee was.
I saw that the other day.
I liked Bumblebee a lot though, and I like Stranger Things a lot.
I was just confused entirely by what the hell are Transformers? Like, are they aliens? Are they cars?
They're aliens.
Why are the aliens cars?
Did you never watch the show?
No.
It's hard to explain.
Why are the aliens cars? Doesn't make any sense. If they're aliens, shouldn't they just be like from an alien planet? Why do
they are from an alien planet.
Then why do they turn into cars? We invented cars here on Earth.
They can turn into any technological item.
No, but I'm saying Bumblebee starts, they're on their planet.
Yeah, they're already cars.
As cars.
Yeah.
And like airplanes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they wanted to be.
Have they like been to Earth and they're like, oh, cool, we'll just be these on our planet?
I think they're older than Earth.
Then did we like
the if I remember correctly, and not that anyone out there knows more and is going to correct me, but Bobby knows more than I do. I never really watched the show, but I watched a little bit at some point, and like I read up on it. Basically, I think they contain a mass knowledge from the Allspark.
What is that?
Did you watch the first Transformers movie?
No, this is the first Transformers thing I've ever seen ever.
The Allspark is basically the source of it's their life source, basically.
Okay.
And it's like a giant cube that contains like the knowledge of the universe or something. It's very confusing, and I don't know a lot. I didn't really watch the show.
I was tempted to make fun of that, and I was like, actually, I know way too much about Star Wars. So
yeah. I don't know. I like to read up on things even if I don't like particularly care for them. So
what was I gonna talk about? There's something I was gonna say. Oh well.
So between the 2 episodes ago and the last episode we recorded, I was sending David all of these promos for Swamp Thing because they looked horrible. It looked so bad.
Yeah.
And then Swamp Thing's pilot aired, and that week it was canceled. Like they're still releasing the first season, but the second season was not renewed. The show was canceled.
Are you watching it?
I am. They have 3 episodes, and I've seen all 3. And I can tell you this: it was a good story. It was a good thought. They had decent casting,
Okay.
good production design,
Uh-huh.
a fine cinematographer. He's not great. She's not great. I don't know who it is, but they're not great. But they're
they
not
do
bad.
look hot. They're a fine
They don't do an amazing job, but it's not bad.
Okay.
I think all of the problem is their director. Do you know who directed it?
I think you told me, but I don't remember.
Did you see Aquaman?
No. I know what it is though.
So Aquaman was directed by James Wan.
Is it the same person?
And it's directed by James Wan. Aquaman is an action movie, a straight up action movie.
Yeah.
Really cheesy.
Uh-huh.
Swamp Thing is 100% like a mystery thriller. Horror mystery thriller. It is directed by the same person, and it suffers greatly because of it.
Well, I mean, it would be okay if he had range as a director.
The thing is, he's not so bad at making everything feel like it's in the same like universe, like it's all touching each other, like it feels real, but it does get kind of scary at times. But it's too light. Like everything is very brightly lit and colored, which is
I was watching the trailers.
A weird style choice.
I was watching the trailers and I was like, "This is gross. You can't see anything." It
yeah,
just looks like
the trailers
brown.
made it look like it was going to be like Riverdale, where it's like dark and broody and gross.
Where it's like a muddy Seattle is what it looked like.
Yeah, it's got very dark scenes at night, but then like everything else is like almost soap opera lighting, where it's like very, very bright. And so the acting is fine and the writing is fine, but the directing is obviously a problem because the way they deliver lines is like they didn't get any notes from the director. Like there's a scene where something happens and someone says, why can't I remember what she says? She says she's gonna do something, and her friend responds with a comeback, like, you know, like hell you are, or something like that. But it's so very, you say this line and she says it, and then they're like, you say this line and she says it, and they like did one take and then cut it, and we're like, it's good, moving on.
Well, I mean, yes, that's some of the directing, but also like if they're better actors that have just
But I think the main thing is that I feel like they didn't have any sort of sense of what the director wanted from the scene.
Oh, so they
felt like
they would run the scene.
Yeah, it felt like
and then they were expecting something from
it felt
him.
like they ran the scene just to like get it out there. And then instead of giving notes, he was like, good, next scene. And it was like, wait, what? Because there was no tone to the scene. It didn't feel like they knew what they were supposed to be going for.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how everything in it is. It's like, this is supposed to be emotionally like romantic, kind of like sad love that could never be. Mm-hmm. But instead it's like, is this sad? Is this romantic? Is this gross? Like there's a scene where it's like, I think this is supposed to be like a sorrowful, emotional moment where you're like, they could have been together. But instead it's like, she's kind of disgusted, I think. and it's really weird. It's so weird. I don't even know. I feel like given any other director, it could have been an entirely different show, for better or worse.
Yeah.
It's like a totally non-offensive show, which is weird because Titans is very, very much stylized dark and gritty, not broody. Like it's not a brooding show like Riverdale. It's dark and gritty. And Doom Patrol is very light and energetic and colorful.
Yeah.
Like very much so. Like it does some very emotional and dark scenes, in each episode, but it's very much like the whole tone of the show is like light and funny.
Like bubblegum comics.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And so those are very much like, they're not trying to be unoffensive. They're just going for what they're going for. And this show is horror, which is a genre defined by not caring. And it's so unoffensive middle ground. There's like a jump scare at one point where like, do you care if there's spoilers?
No.
Okay, there's a jump scare where a spirit appears in a mirror and talks to this lady. It's her dead daughter. And basically she just looks into the mirror, sees her, the mirror shatters, and she speaks at the same time. So it's like a mommy, and the mirror shatters like right as you look up and see her.
That's a weird word to say.
It's really weird. Okay. How do you think that scene would look? Like lighting, color, mood?
I have no context. I don't know.
It's in a bathroom. At night.
I'd say there'd probably be like a nightlight or something on, you know? Like you go in, there's a nightlight in the bathroom. So like you do like one of those double takes that they do in horror movies where like, did I see that? You know?
Okay.
Where it's pretty dark.
Okay. A little bit dark.
Yeah.
How do you think the ghost that is a reanimated spirit, so it looks like, dead, would look?
Really gross.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So what if I told you that this scene at night in a bathroom with a reanimated spirit is lit with like bright white daylight bulbs?
Is this in a public restroom?
No, it's in a girl's bathroom at a home that is mostly wood paneling, but the bathroom is entirely white and it's very well lit. When you look up into the mirror and see her, it looks like a girl standing with a cover of white makeup and blood, fake blood, like in certain places, and like matted hair. It's really, really, really soap opera. Like it's just so straightforward.
Okay, hang on. We need to get on a tangent about soap opera because I don't understand how it still exists as this genre. Like,
I just had a conversation about this with Bobby and Matthew the other day because we were talking about soap operas, and the longest running soap opera is
I told you about this.
Yeah,
like forever ago. Days of Our Lives has been running since the year before my mother was born.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it was the year of my mother's birth. There are so many have I done this on the podcast? Because I rant about the show a lot. Because I want to write a comedy bit about it, but I haven't like figured out how.
I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast. No.
Okay. The show has been running for over 50 years.
Well, do you know what's crazier?
What?
The longest running soap opera is General Hospital.
Wait, I thought it was Days of Our Lives. What? Hang on. No. Go ahead. When did General Hospital start? Is it still going?
Let's see. Yeah, General Hospital. General Hospital started in 1963. And it's still going.
Oh, man. So then there are these shows where you can never catch up to them, ever.
14,000 episodes.
Where, like, if you decided, all right, I'm going to start watching at the beginning so that I can get caught up to where they are now.
You literally never will.
Because you'll die before that happens.
Yeah. No, the General Hospital has 14,000 episodes. And they range from 30 minutes to 60 minutes.
And it's not even good.
No.
Like, everything about it sucks. The acting, the production value, like the directing, the story, the writing, all of it is garbage. But they run for like lifetimes, these shows.
Yeah.
Literally. Not even an exaggeration. There are people that live, I mean, I guess everything's a lifetime because there are people that die like really early. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just think about it. In 1963, General Hospital started as a soap opera on daytime television.
The people who founded it are probably dead. That they're at the point where they can like start a show in their career, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're at least, they're adults, like well into adulthood.
Just think about it. 56 years later, the show is still running. It's still going.
Yeah.
It's still on air.
And no one watches these but old people, you know?
It's been literally 56 years of one show, which means that at the beginning of the show, someone who was a mid-30s actor is now in their 80s.
It's nuts. I looked it up, and on Days of Our Lives, which is the one that I was familiar with.
Yeah.
There was no one in the original cast that was in every season.
Well, yeah, obviously.
No, but like, that's nuts that no one from the original cast is still in the show.
I don't understand how that works because shows like this don't move forward. They stay with the same characters a lot of the time.
Okay. So I've seen some episodes of Days of Our Lives at the Vietnamese place where I wait to get my haircut.
Okay.
Where they have either that Vietnamese soap opera as Judge Judy or Dr. Phil.
Oh, Dr. Phil, though.
They don't have Dr. Phil as much anymore.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Or that one Houston Life TV show with quirky girl and affluent gay dude. You know that show?
No.
It's daytime TV, but it's local.
What's it called?
Houston Life.
Houston Life show. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I know those people. Okay.
Yeah. But so sometimes we'll have Days of Our Lives on, and I get it for like a little bit. I'm like, oh, now I want to know what happens.
You get really involved in the character's story.
No, not even that. I'm just trying to figure out what's happening. That's how they get me at this point, because nothing makes sense since it's been running for so long that there are way too many plot points for anything to make. You just
want to know what's happening.
Yeah. And then they'll throw these like dramatic plot points out at the end of every episode where nothing will happen for 45 minutes. And then at the end, they're like, and she's pregnant. And I'm like, whoa, how'd that happen? And then you start watching the next episode and it's like, and it might not be with her boyfriend's baby. It might be with his best friend's baby. You're like, oh crap.
Is that the end of the episode again?
Yeah. Yeah. You watch for 45 minutes of nothing to find out that one little nugget of information at the end of every episode.
Yeah. My, someone I know who I won't name watches a couple soap operas. And I did watch a few episodes with them at one point because I was there and they were watching and I was like, okay. And I did understand it. Like I was like, I can figure out what's going on and like I can see the appeal. It's like it's kind of interesting, you know, to see what's going on. Like, but at the same time, so much nothing transpires that it's almost funny to just be like to break down every sentence and see if it means anything. Because a lot of times they'll have 10-minute conversations like over dinner that literally don't mean anything. Like they'll just be like, I don't even know how to construct sentences like they do.
There are so many pronouns in these shows that I'm like, who are they even referring to? I'm just like, they're always like talking behind someone's back about them, and that's like, ooh. But like,
Jessica's brother had a baby with Susie's sister, Samantha, who is, you'll remember, used to date Jason's brother Thomas.
It's like that one book in the Bible where it's like, and so begot so and so begot so and so, where it's just the most mind numbing thing to listen to.
The one episode of something that I watched was I don't remember what show it is, but it was this girl who went out to dinner with the ex-girlfriend of her fiance, and basically they're just trying to convince each other that they got the better end of the deal. Like, and it's so confusing because they're having two entirely separate conversations at each other, but they're acting like they're talking to each other. It's so weird.
Okay, so why I think soap operas should be dead by now is because they're just bad on every level. But then we have superhero shows now, which are basically soap operas. CW shows?
Oh my gosh, it's so true.
CW shows are the new soap operas, so why do soap operas still exist?
CW shows make me so mad because they've taken things that I love and made them the worst version of popularity that is possible. Like, the kind of popularity that's so popular no one likes it.
And there are good versions of what soap operas try to be now, where we don't have to watch them anymore, but they're just old people at home who have nothing better to do, I guess.
Well, my question is, why does daytime television exist? Because we have streaming services.
Yeah, daytime television is weird. Like, especially like daytime talk shows, like Houston Life. Houston Life is such a weird show. Like,
I used to see it when I went to the laundromat because we had to go for a while when our machine broke. And the only thing I remember is they were like in a studio watching a video of themselves with a chef in like Hawaii learning how to make some specific dish. And they were doing commentary on the video of them talking to a guy. And it was like, what is going on? Because
so
they would say something in the video of them with the chef, and then one of them would like comment on it and be like they'd critique themselves in a weird way, or they'd just repeat the same thing they just said in the video. It was so weird.
A couple months ago, last time I got my haircut, there was this one going on where they were like looking at yearbook pictures of themselves and like mocking themselves. I'm like, I do this with friends, but this is weird because I don't know you. And they're like, oh, it's so different back in my life at that point. And I'm like, why is this television?
It's like radio. I listen to the radio sometimes because I'm too lazy to plug my phone in. And I don't mind some of the morning talk show radio on like music channels because it's not long and sometimes it's interesting. But they have like these pre-recorded middle pieces that'll play. And like 92.1 Radio Now used to have one segment where they were like, let's get litty in the city. And I was like, I know something's gone out of style when radio picks it up. And they were like, they like did a dad joke a couple times and like some memes a couple times. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most uncomfortably awkward, dumbest thing.
Have you seen that video of that like local news station trying to be like saying like teen phrases?
Yes. I showed that to Paul the other day. It was so funny. I love that so much. It took me so long to find it.
Hang on. Do you have it like saved now?
I don't think so.
Ah, crap. Because I want to play the audio of that.
Yeah. Trying to.
But no, there are a ton of things that like shouldn't be, like that shouldn't exist anymore in entertainment. Like radio host should not be a thing, because we have music streaming, we have satellite radio, and we have podcasts, right?
Right.
So just listen to podcasts if you want to hear two people talk, or just listen to music if you want to listen to music. If you want it to be music that you don't choose, just don't pay for Spotify, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Just you can get a radio station on your phone of music with some ads in between.
Yeah.
For free.
And then there's no host on it. And if you want to listen to a podcast, just listen. They're free services.
I will say, though, I actually listen to the radio for the hosts in the morning.
Really?
Because I think that they're entertaining for like the monotonous drive. They're dumb, and it's fun to listen to them be dumb.
Okay, when I didn't have my phone for a while, and I would drive around, and I'd have to listen to the radio, I would listen to Delilah sometimes just because it would entertain me. It was so stupid. I was like,
I hate Delilah so much. Can't stand her.
Is Delilah a local thing?
I think so, because it's Sunny 99.1, but I don't think it's. I think it's specific to City. Yeah, who's on?
Huh. I wonder what Delilah looks like.
I mean, you could Google her and find a picture.
I'm going to look up Delilah, and I will describe her to our listeners.
Okay.
Yeah, you talk for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still looking for that video. Oh, here we go. It's
Let's play the audio.
I got it.
How does she spell her name? Is it like Delilah from the Bible?
I don't know. It's a YouTube compilation like channel that has it, so.
Good morning, TPS students. It is testing week, and it's time to slay all day.
Yeet! Stay woke, be on fleek, and get that Gucci breakfast.
Goals. Say bye, Felicia, to that testing stress. Weather's going to be turned, right, Chris?
Yes! Toledo weather gonna be V-lit during testing week. A Hundo P chance of success. You've got this, kids. Steve, how about that traffic? Are we looking
Better than we're talking turn. FOMO won't be an issue. No traffic problems around any TPS schools to keep you from taking those tests.
So get a good night's sleep, do your best. In fact, be extra, extra.
We here at WTOL are V proud of you.
Good luck
on your tests, TPS students.
Man, this is an episode of
There's some channel doing a commentary. I really love the really bad yes. He's like, instead of he's not yes, he's not yas. It's like a yeah.
He said it like
yes.
he said it like a Spanish bullfighter would. Yes,
yes. And the oh, he can't even do that. He didn't even do that. It was like more like an oh. And get that Gucci breakfast.
Okay, so Delilah of Sunny 99.1.
Sunny 99.1
looks exactly like you would imagine her to.
Blonde.
Yeah.
She's got that cut from, like, is it the 60s that's like split in the middle and like bounces up and then waves out? That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And she has she looks exactly, just imagine Delilah and you've got it. You know?
Yeah. It's exactly what I expected.
Man. I thought this would be more entertaining, like, oh, I wonder what she looks like. She's a radio host, you never know what she looks like. And it's like, what if she looks completely different from what you'd expect? Like, what if Delilah was some Dominican lady, you know?
Yeah. Although she doesn't sound like
Exactly.
she
That's why it would
doesn't-
be entertaining. It's like,
she doesn't sound
whoa.
like anything other than a blonde lady. Like
Exactly. That's why it'd be. What? That would be so funny though.
Honestly, though, so do you have Mix 96.5 has a morning show with 3 people on it, and it's Jeff Sheen, Sarah Pepper, and Lauren Kelly. Okay. They look nothing like they sound.
Huh.
Like
I'm trying to
Jeff,
think if I've heard of them.
Jeff kind of the way I've always pictured him is like the kind of athletic built fit guy, but still like a dad.
Yeah.
And then like Lauren Kelly is like this like kind of ditzy blonde, like skinny, tall.
Yeah.
And Sarah Pepper kind of sounds like short.
She sounds short.
She sounds short. They make jokes about it, but she sounds short. She sounds like kind of like this shorter, like long hair, like kind of like an attitude, like I'm a queen and I know it type of personality.
Yeah.
But this is them. It's not flipping. That's them.
Which one's which?
Well, Jeff is the dude.
Yeah.
Lauren
really?
Kelly is the tall one, and Sarah Pepper's the short one.
Okay.
They look nothing like I imagined them.
This has less impact on me because I haven't heard them.
Yeah. It's that way for me in podcast hosts. I'll like look up who they are if it's like a podcast that I listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm often shocked. I'm like, that's not at all how I imagined this person to look.
That's how it was with the host of Behind the Bastards.
Yeah.
We have to have that obligatory reference to them on all of our podcasts.
Oh dear, you've committed to so many things.
Oh wait, hang on. We have to have the ASMR part that we promised we'd do last time, so we can get a world record of doing it every episode.
Oh boy. Not to ruin your fun, but the Smoshcast does end with every time. So.
Well, they're successful, so now we'll be more successful than Smosh because we'll just do more of it, you know?
Okay. Okay.
This episode's weird.
One Hundo P.
What episode are we on now?
Let's see. That would be we're on 6. This is 6, I think.
Oh man, we're halfway through the year at this point.
Yeah, we did skip an episode, so. But yeah. No, yeah. The last one was 5 and this one's 6. We have mostly consistently gained listeners.
Okay.
Well,
I'm trying
no.
to think
I'm confused.
if we can name all of our listeners.
Well, the first episode has 20 plays.
Oh, okay.
So unless the 4 people that we know listen have played it 20 times, then
what? It has 20 plays. 4 people times.
I don't
4
mean
times 20.
I don't mean each. I mean unless they listened a combined time of 20 times.
Okay.
And that's just Anchor.
Huh.
Podcasts are really hard to track, I think, because I only get numbers for Anchor, which nobody uses Anchor to listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Like really the only thing people use it for is posting podcasts.
Yeah.
Although it does have like some interesting features, like fans can record audio questions and send them in, and you can like play them and insert them, which I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's like a gimmick.
Yeah. The Valleycast, they do this thing where like they'll have fans record the intro and they'll have a different intro every episode.
Okay.
So I was like, maybe they use Anchor for that. I don't know.
The only person I know specifically who uses Anchor is Casey Neistat, and he doesn't even consistently post.
Does he have a podcast?
He did.
Well, was that one with his wife?
Yeah, that's the one.
How long did that last?
I think it had 10 episodes.
Oof. No, one podcast that I'm really hoping for back is Fantastic Adventures with Dean and Birdie. That's a great podcast. That's why I got Acast as my service, because it was an Acast exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, well, now I'll just stay on Acast. And they had like 12 episodes, I think. But they were like, this is the end of season 1. We'll be back for season 2 at some point.
What podcast was it?
Fantastic Adventures with Dean and Birdie.
Oh, yeah.
With Dean Dobbs of Jack and Dean and Birdie Gilbert.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they ever come back? How long has that been?
It's been some months. I'm trying to think how long exactly. And it was a good show. They had like Kick the PJ on it. They had Dodie on it. They had like a bunch of like English YouTube personalities, you know? Or just like internet people, you know? Like artists and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 10 episodes actually. I would really recommend listening to that because they have like a very good dynamic, and a lot of it is like improv based, where they'll end up going on a tangent where they're creating a story about like some weird topic.
Yeah. So is it like
it's like our podcast but better.
Okay. I mean, that's basically what I listen to in podcasts is this style. But better. Yeah. Like that's basically what TMG is. They just kind of talk to each other, and then they like as they go, they come up with like funny things and talk about them.
But we don't stick with our funny things. I feel like we're bad at staying on a topic. I think that's my fault.
I don't think we don't really like do bits, which is kind of what every other they find
Shut
something
up, John.
funny.
That's our bit.
Well, that was a good bit. That was a bit more like Gus and Eddie. I don't know if you ever listen to them, but they do stuff like that, and I like that. I think that's what we could morph into. I think that's kind of what we already do a little bit, but we're just getting started. So,
shut up. It's a bad idea. Don't talk.
Okay. We are at an hour. We could keep going. We did do an hour 20 minutes once.
No. I say we end it here. This is a nice stopping point.
Yeah, it feels like a good lull. Lull.
All right. Tune in next time for another exciting episode of Speed Racer.
Is that just how we're going to end now?
Yeah.